Animators vs. Games is the most prominent sister channel to Alan Becker, hosted by him and his friend DJ, acting as an excuse for the two to play games, host collaborations, and even react to new episodes of AVA whenever they release. Alan Becker TV is a 24/7 live stream running on Alan's YouTube channel that cycles through all of the AVA episodes. The live stream itself doesn't have much significance, although you may find occasional bumpers animated exclusively for the live stream in between a few episodes. Animation Versus is an upcoming fighting game that features the characters from AVA. The game was conceived after the Alan Becker team had reached out to Muno to see if he would be interested in being the lead developer of the game, upon seeing his impressive work modifying the stick figures into the game Rivals of Aether. As of recording, the game is currently in early stages of development, with the game reaching its funding goals on Kickstarter and even securing the funds to implement a story mode into the final product. Occasionally, people will come across advertisements for mobile games that steal Alan Becker's animation without his permission or credit. These cheap mobile games would become so rampant at one point that a reference was made to them in the actual short pop-ups, where you can see made-up pop-ups for a game called Stickman Hero Battlecraft Fight, which is fairly accurate to what you would see on the App Store. Before YouTube had gained its reputation as the dominant video hosting platform, Alan would upload the original Animator vs. Animation videos on miscellaneous platforms such as Newgrounds, before he posted the animations onto YouTube. This gave other people the chance to upload it onto YouTube without crediting Alan, and reaping millions of views and overwriting the official upload in search results by the time Alan decided to post the video on his own channel. It would take a couple of years before Alan could get the stolen videos taken down for copyright infringement so that his uploads could appear at the top of the search results. You might actually be able to see evidence of these old videos yourself if you manage to put the right video from around the time into the Wayback Machine and look at the suggested panel and see if you can find any re-uploads of the original Animator vs. Animation videos. As mentioned earlier, the channel Animators vs. Games hosts reaction videos to the AVA episodes whenever a new animation is uploaded, where Alan gives a director's commentary, as he shows his friend DJ the animations for the first time. Cave Spider Roller Coaster is the 14th episode of Animation vs. Minecraft Shorts, and the most viewed video on Alan Becker's channel, gaining over 450 million views, also making it the most viewed Minecraft video in all of YouTube. At some point in the middle of 2024, Alan announced that the titles for the series Animator vs. Animation Shorts 1 through 4 and Animator vs. Animation 6 Shorts 1 and 2 would be renamed so that it was more obvious that the series picked up straight after AVA 4 chronologically. Stickfight.com is the name of the website the fighting stick figures originated from and consider home. It is also a real website that will play the scene we first meet the fighting stick figures from Animator vs. Animation 4. In Animator vs. Animation 2, Alan made the mistake of putting his real AIM username in the animation, which would cause a large number of people to spam his messages after the animation was released. This was made worse by the fact that AOL seemed to open a new tab for every new person that tried to message him, resulting in his computer screen getting flooded with over 100 tabs of people trying to instant message him. Alan would learn from this, as typing in what appears to be Alan's email in episode 25 of AVM Shorts simply gives you an automated message commending you for your effort. Although a bit niche, like most fan bases on the internet, AVA has also been subject to humorous memes that circulate throughout the fan base. Like many pieces of fiction, many fans of Animator vs. Animation will take it upon themselves to make artwork based on the series. Not only does the simple design of the characters make it easy for even beginner artists to depict them, but it also allows for a lot of room for interpretation in depicting the characters, with some going above and beyond in designing their interpretations of the characters. A lot of content made by fans of this series tend to draw faces over the characters, with some animators even taking it upon themselves to animate faces on the stick figures, allowing their interpretations of the characters' personalities to shine through. Fan dubs are exactly as they sound. Fans will dub over the typically muted characters in order to depict what they think they would have said if we could hear them talk, as well as show off one's interpretations of the characters' personalities. OCs, or original characters, are fan-made characters that don't exist within the main series' canon. Not all OCs are a part of someone's fan-made canon, as I've seen some OCs that exist for the simple purpose of being someone's mascot. It can be pretty tricky to create a completely original stick figure without getting creative, as most of the characters share the same silhouette and are distinguishable by their colors. Community captions were a feature on YouTube that would allow the community to create subtitles for any language provided the YouTuber left them enabled. Alan Becker would leave these enabled, leading people to write subtitles that depicted what the characters were saying throughout the story if you enabled them. Unfortunately, YouTube would discontinue this feature around the end of 2020, making it impossible for the community to make captions for the newer videos, although you can still view any made prior to the discontinuation. Shipping is essentially the desire for two or more characters to be in a romantic relationship. This is common in many fan bases, including AVA, although it's not as prevalent within the community as it is in some other fan bases, as far as I've seen, possibly as a result of romance not really being an important focus within the main series. Animator vs. Animation has its own unofficial wiki page on the website Fandom that hosts numerous articles that go into detail about the series and behind the scenes information. Although it's not run by the Alan Becker team, it has made a cameo in the Animation vs. Minecraft Shorts episode, The Ultimate Weapon. Ohio. Animator vs. Animation takes place in Ohio. This is evident during AVA 7 The Flashback, when the Dark Lord launched a virus at what looks to be a random location in the state of Ohio, that's later shown to be Alan's PC, as well as the Stick Gang's residence. This detail fits in harmony with the fact that the real Alan lives in Ohio. During the second half of Animation vs. Minecraft Season 3, the Stick Gang got split up, with the following episodes showing how they managed to regroup one by one. As a result, some fans took it upon themselves to try and edit the videos together to track what each character did in real time. These videos would be significant as they were what directly inspired Alan Becker and his team to make their own official version of the mashup, even including newly animated footage and edited music to fit the new arrangement. Shortly after the release of Animator vs. Animation 1, the owner of a site offered Alan $75 to purchase exclusive rights for his animation. Alan, who was only 17 at the time, was intrigued by the novelty of getting paid for work he made just for fun. It was only until Alan noticed he was reached out to by Steve Lerner, founder of the website Albino Black Sheep, warning him not to sell the rights of his animation, that he decided not to go through with the offer. It's funny to think that in another time, Alan would have sold the rights to his future career and all the stories we enjoy now for just $75. In the 18 years that AVA has been around, it has only managed to get wrapped up in only one controversy that is worth noting. A prominent website at the time, known as eBaum's World, was hosting AVA 1 on their website without gaining Alan's permission first. Steve Lerner, mentioned earlier, intended to use this as evidence for a legal battle against eBaum's World. However, eBaum's World would respond by paying Alan $250 for permission to host the video and for him to give the website a testimonial. Later, Alan would change his mind, returning the money to get his video removed, and submitted an apology to the community of albino black sheep and the people who felt he sold them out, with the drama ending then and there. During the influencer arc, a video started going around titled The Truth About Green by a channel named It's Me Yellow. The video depicted Yellow criticizing Green's behavior and how he let the fame get to his head. The video managed to achieve over 1 million views and managed to get more views than some of the videos on the Stick Figure Green channel, with most people believing the video to be official, since the video was animated so faithfully to the original series. Eventually, a couple members of the Alan Becker team would confirm that the video was fan-made, and the owner of the It's Me Yellow channel would break character to explain their intentions and to apologize for fooling so many people. It's Me Yellow would also inspire a number of other channels at the time that would attempt to emulate what made It's Me Yellow so intriguing. If you watched Animation vs. YouTube, you'll know Orange needed to upload Green as a video on YouTube in order to defeat a manifestation of YouTube itself. Well, if you were to go to the playlist on Alan's channel titled Animation vs. YouTube Featured Videos and go to the last video, there is a video titled Stick Figure Green, which shows the entire 5 minutes of Green's life within a YouTube video. Unlike the mercenaries in AVA Season 3, the pixelated stick figure is not an original character, but actually originated from a 20-year-old animation on EasyToon made by Multi Lock-On, with a Japanese title that translates to something along the lines of wall breaking. After a fan inquired if the character had a name on Twitter, Multi Lock-On replied saying that they had called the character Ballista to name him after a siege engine. Although many people believe Animator vs. Animation is the first stick figure animation posted by Alan, he actually uploaded one to Newgrounds prior called Pink Army, which is a short animation of an orange stick figure fending off an army of pink stick figures. An official Animator vs. Animation browser game was created in 2007, developed by Charles Ye, who had reached out to Alan for permission to create the game. Xiao Xiao was a Chinese animated flash series of choreographed stick figure fights created from around 2001. The setting of Xiao Xiao 3 may have likely been the direct inspiration for the appearance of the in-universe stickfigurefight.com website, as they have an almost identical style and appearance. Animation vs. Smash Bros. Was revealed to be a cancelled animation when Alan was asked if he ever had to scrap any episodes and ideas during the Animators vs. Games 1 million subscribers Q&A. Alan explained that the project's complexity and lack of a good story were what ultimately led to its cancellation. Around 2017, the independent board game company Insanity Games collaborated with Alan to create an official card game for the series, with the Kickstarter even being successfully funded. Unfortunately, Insanity Games would go bankrupt, effectively canceling all of the projects, including the AVA card game. And what's unfortunate about these projects getting canceled is that the Kickstarter backers were never able to get refunded. So if you Google "Did Alan Becker quit YouTube?", the top result is a post Alan made on Facebook on November 15, 2018, of him in front of the DreamWorks Animation campus, with the caption saying he got a job at DreamWorks and that he's quitting his YouTube channel forever. Now, Alan obviously never quit YouTube, and the videos on the channel continue to be produced like usual, leading for this post to exist in obscurity with no context behind it that I can find. It's possible that this was simply a joke Alan made after taking a selfie in front of the DreamWorks studio. However, most comments on the post I read took Alan pretty seriously. Regardless, nothing came of this post, but its existence is pretty unusual. During DJ's reaction to the AVM real-time video, Alan made the brief comment that King Orange's wife was a very neon yellow, which confirmed that King Orange had a spouse at one point, although we currently don't know what happened to them, as they've been completely unseen in the series as of now. This brief confirmation also inspired a fan on Reddit who goes by the user BlazingInferno4343 to painstakingly spend over an hour mixing various shades of yellow with the color of King Orange until they got the exact color of his son, allowing them to confirm that King Orange's spouse would be a yellowish orange with the exact color code being CFBD1B. With Animation Versus still being in the early stages of its production, we have only seen snippets of the final product. Throughout the marketing, we have seen images of what appears to be a mysterious white stick figure with what appears to be a sinister power. Not much is known about this stick figure, but some have suspected that it will be the game's main antagonist. After King Orange redeemed himself, some felt he needed to move on from the king aspect of his character. However, simply calling him Orange would make things confusing, as that name is already used to refer to the Second Coming. As a result, many people would just use the name Mango Tango, or sometimes just Mango, as a replacement. While most people, including the Alan Becker team, still call him the King or King Orange, this name has circulated enough for me to see it being used every now and then whenever I peek into the fandom. In fact, I even know someone in real life who mentioned the Mango Tango as their preferred name for King Orange. I have seen some people argue that King is a real name people use in real life, and even point out that his Minecraft username was listed as King. To pick up from the last entry, looking at King Orange's signature in AVM30 appears to suggest a different name entirely from anything discussed prior, with one Reddit user believing the name to be Arthur Jr.? However, the signature is so distinctive it's very difficult for me to be sure, although it is interesting that his name appears to have Jr. at the end. Regardless of his signature, I don't think his name is anything worth debating, and I think it's safe to say that whatever you find fitting works best. And with that, I give you the Animator versus Animation Iceberg. Thank you if you managed to watch the whole thing from start to finish. I'll be sure to leave proper credit where it's due in the description of this video. Thanks for watching.